Hey, what's up guys? Ashby at Ashby Farms, and today we're out here wax dipping our 4-way pallets. This video here is going to be just showing kind of a recap. If you're new to my channel, we wax dip all of our equipment, so I'm going to dive into that first, and then the second part of this video, we're diving into our 4-way pallets and our dimensions and kind of why I do certain things unique about my 4-way pallets. So with that, let's get at it. So we've got an awesome 3-day stretch here, just coming up on Memorial Day weekend. Today's Friday, so I started yesterday. All these pallets right here that you see are done, and this is the stack I've got that's left. I've been working on, I built the pallet part here, I cut the pieces a year ago, and then I put them together in some cases last fall, and in some cases just a couple days ago. But my wax dip tank right back here, we're doing something a little bit different this year. I was encouraged by my buddy Phil to run the wax a little bit hotter. In the past, we've run it at 240 to 250 degrees. And yesterday and today, we're running it at 290 degrees, which I've never done before. But the hotter wax temperature seems to be doing a really good job at permeating the wood and not having a lot of excess wax left over. Let me give you a quick show about, walk back here real fast. So this right here is what you get when the wax wasn't hot enough. This is one of the boxes from the very first year I wax dipped. We used to dip at like 225, and this paraffin, it leaches out of the wood over time. So usually we just do about 5 minutes per side here, and then I'll flip the pallet over and do the other part. Normally just stand it up like this, let it drip a couple seconds. So you can see the wax right here, just watch it. It's just gonna soak in. Particularly like right here, it's already disappearing. So now that's wax impregnated woodenware. So you can see here, it's bubbling, and all this foam is water that's leaving the wood. So basically think of it this way, this wood has been sitting outside for a little bit over 2 years, and it tests a little bit over 10% moisture on a moisture meter. So water boils at like 212 degrees. So on a porous level, like the pores within the wood, the water is literally steaming out of the wood. And then once we pull it out of that 290 degree wax, as it starts to cool, it creates a vacuum and it just sucks in all that wax. And now we've got wax impregnated woodenware. It's gonna last us, hopefully 20 plus years. It's UV and rot proof, and we've seen really good results with it so far. But pallets are obviously ground contact. So if anything's gonna rot, it's gonna be the bottom 2 boards there, over just a function of time. So when I got started beekeeping, I went and sought advice from a lot of other beekeepers, and one thing I noticed, that if painting is standard, then wax dipping is premium. I had this tank right here welded up, 1.5 inch closed cell insulation on it to retain the heat. It's got a burner down below, so I had that welded up. This tank here holds about 600 pounds, and it measures 20 inches by 40 inches. I've gotten a lot of questions over time, so I'll go ahead and tell you about, I buy my wax from Clarus Wax Products, the CLARUS. They're out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Brad's my rep over there, my project manager. I don't know what his title is, but they have been fantastic to deal with. Buddy of mine, neighbor, Brian, he runs a furniture company. And when I was first getting started, I asked, hey, could I have, since you got a freight dock, could I have a lot of my bulk products shipped? And he was willing to help me out. So we were able to order, like 5,000 pounds of wax. and 10,000 frames, and all that stuff weighs literal tons. So consider, to save on shipping, that you might want to use resources or people within your network, and get what they call LTL freight, or bulk freight shipping. But I recently spoke with Brad, and he said, I think wax this year, being it's May of 25, Memorial Day weekend of 2025, wax is running about $215 this year. The two waxes are a paraffin and a microcrystalline. The microcrystalline has like a 178 melt point, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And paraffin's got like a 140 melt point. When I got started doing this and working with Brad, you used to have to buy the two different products. But nowadays, there's been so many beekeepers. There's such a conversion going over to wax tip woodenware that Claris now offers. It's a single wax, already pre-mixed there in their facility. So again, I think their product ships out of Dallas, Texas, because wax is a petroleum. It's a product of petroleum. Texas being a big petroleum producing state, but they're headquartered in Rock Hill. And when I tell you guys, they're fantastic to work with, very reasonable prices, and they were just a big help with getting my order shipped over. So again, thanks Brad on that one. Let's shift over to the 4-way pallets. So one thing I try to do, all my equipment's custom, and on the front end, I try and engineer out some problems mechanically. There's a couple of issues within the beet industry, and I'm not sure why they build it this way. It's kind of like, well, that's the way we've always built it. But the person who really pushed me onto this is Bob Benny. I'm always willing to, I don't have a decade of beekeeping experience. I got started in 2020, but I was just talking to somebody the other day. I have a willingness to listen to others. I'm not like master beekeeper certified and this is the way you must beekeep. The people I listen to are people whose mortgages depend on bees. Their business, their livelihood depends on bees. And I try to engineer things on the front end to make it easy for myself down the road. So for some reason, the standard equipment, the rise in this height right here is 3/4 of an inch. And Bob encouraged me to make them 3/8 of an inch. The reason being is a mouse needs 7/16 to get through. And so by doing it with a 3/8 riser, you don't have to go around in the fall and put mouse guards on and come around in the spring, take mouse guards off. Simply, if you have 500 or 1,000 hives, that's a lot of labor to do twice a year. When you could have just engineered it out on the front end. And I don't have any issues whatsoever with the 3/8 riser. The other thing that I really didn't like was pallets aren't always flat. So if it ends up at an angle, and being that they're wax dipped, water will pool up along this back edge right here. So a lot of people drill a hole here and here and then here and here, and some people put screen on it, some people don't. But the problem is sometimes it's big enough for a mouse to crawl up into the beehives, and if a mouse can find a way, they definitely will. So what I did was, with that same 3/8 riser, I left a space here and a space here for the water to run out. And you can see there's a matching one adjacent. What I've actually found in the field is the bees will use this as an additional entrance, depending on which way the pallet's facing in proximity to a wood line. But either way, it works really well. What we don't want is sitting water over time that's just going to sit there and rot out the wood. A lot of folks put a W bracket or a U bracket right here, and then a second one, right here, and one here and one here. I don't particularly like that method. So what I did, I bought a whole bunch of ratchet straps from Amazon a couple years ago, and that seems to work really well. And we put a ratchet around 2 of the colonies, so you've got 2 ratchet straps per pallet. But if we want to stack doubles to move them with a queen excluder, that queen excluder acts like a shim, and it can cause the top box to slide off the bottom box if it's not really well propolized on there. So by using the ratchet strap, we can get our bees ready down here and then take them up to the mountains. And it makes moving bees much easier. It's just one little extra thing to do, the ratchet straps are, but to me, that's worth making sure that everything stays right where you want, right where you put it, right where you want it, getting ready to go up. So this year we're trying to put 60 colonies to a yard in the mountains for sourwood. So we're going to anticipate getting honey off starting next week and get the bees on up there ahead of time. And that way all we've got to do is swap the honey supers on them. Last year I bought out a business, and you'll see these painted boxes. I'm sure a lot of you who watch my channel know I pretty much only use deep everything, and it ain't painted. But I bought out another beekeeper at the end of last season, and these were all his painted boxes. And actually he did a fantastic job with the paint and the equipment all around. So I've sold some of it and kept some of it, but we're going to turn right around and put all these medium boxes to work in the mountains here next week as soon as we get all the bees up there. When we're moving four-way well, let's talk about two-way versus four-way. So moving two-way pallets, I don't feel comfortable stacking them 3 high. There's too much of a chance they just shift and shimmy and all that. But the four-ways I feel really solid about. So on my truck, on the F350, I can get one level, which is 4 four-way pallets at 16. I can go 3 tall, which is 48 on the back of the truck. And then on my trailer, I can put the skid steer, and I can put 6 two-ways, which is 3 wide and 2 long, I guess. So there's an additional 12. So we can move 60 with my rig with comfort. I have moved as much as 84. I didn't really feel all that comfortable. We're not overweight per se. It's just real big and bulky, and I don't know. It's just, there's a certain amount of comfort when you're moving a lot of bees like this. I mean, at the end of the day, these are my investments. These are where my heart is. So I want to do everything I can to take care of them, the equipment, and keep them safe. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Everybody out there be safe. And certainly if you have any questions, put them in the video. Always glad to help out however I can. But thanks for watching if we got this far. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks again. Bye.